Welcome back to Absolute Comics right here at, where the hell are we? Twitch.tv/Comicstorian, where we stream it live every Tuesday at about 5 p.m. Eastern. It's then uploaded to absolutely Marvel and DC, unless we've already deemed it not successful there. And it's then uploaded to Absolute Comics, the channel. And it's then uploaded to Spotify, SoundCloud, and all the podcast apps.
Exactly.
And today's sponsor is G Fuel. Use your code COMICS at checkout. Get yourself some Moonberries hydration formula with Moon Knight.
Moonberries.
Moonberries. You know what they do? You drink the moonberries, and a big purple beam comes out of your chest, shoots into the sky, summons a god.
Nice.
And then you are the avatar of the hippo god of fertility. All right, so today's going to be a bit odd episode. Sal and I have been going since 9 a.m. and we're tired, so let's get into the list here.
But let's do it. We can muster some enthusiasm for fake stuff that doesn't matter.
This is tired, Benny. So for those of you who are like, Benny, you fake it. No, I just go 90 miles an hour all day.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Topics today. I haven't read any comics. You have any comics you want to talk about, Sal? I haven't read anything because I
read The Death of Justice League.
Oh, how is it?
It's good.
Okay.
It's good enough.
I'm reading
also read Spider-Man
because I'll be on a plane. So
Yeah.
that's when I read. I catch up with so many books on the plane.
Yeah. I also read the new Spider-Man, and y'all aren't ready. Bigger. I think it's bigger than Death of Justice League, unfortunately. I'm like worried because like Death of Justice League, I'm like, okay. Like I remember Josh Williamson really wanted Pariah to be the main villain of the DC universe, and I think he succeeded. But who asked for Pariah? And,
we're doing one of those deals. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it dovetails right into Dark Crisis, but Death of Justice League. Check it out, I guess. It's
all
fun.
right. We'll be doing a short on it, I think, tomorrow, so I'll know more about it then.
It's a fun Green Arrow moment you're gonna like in there.
Oh, sweet. I like Green Arrow moments.
Yeah,
all
right?
Cool.
He's cool. Yeah.
Well, without much comics going on, because I'm reading them tomorrow, and Sal just says it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's have a look at what's going on today. In the news, we've got Cinemacon is happening, which we had to Google before this because I've never heard of Cinemacon, but apparently it's been going on since the 70s, and it's a big deal.
We never got invited because apparently it's just for movie people.
I've never heard of it. And maybe they're announcing all of this stuff here this year because nothing else is happening. So it's like, oh, that one's happening. Go announce things.
Yeah.
So DC Comics is now is announcing its slate of movies, which before I read these, I think is a terrible idea because they're still constantly moving them.
Yeah, don't say.
So why are you trying to slate the movies? You just keep pushing back the Flash.
I know. Oh my God. What a nightmare.
Oh, interesting. CBR took the name The Weekly Poll.
What?
So I opened up the article at CBR to talk about this stuff here, right?
Yeah.
If you scroll down the next article, because they're one of those websites that just link article on article in hopes that you're not going to pay attention and keep scrolling.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it works.
The Weekly Poll, Justice League. It's just an article they write.
Oh, yeah. That's what they call their column where they like tell you what they pulled that week. Yes.
But definitely took a name that we were using 5 years ago now at this point or something like that.
Yeah. Well, they're like, nobody else is using it. Mine.
Totally try to drum up those search engine algorithms. All right. Anyway.
Why not?
DC upcoming slate of releases. All right. We've got, Dan wrote them out better over here. Kind of. Let me see if I can read them better. It's an image. This is my favorite part about this, Sal.
Yeah.
They didn't write them in the article.
No.
Somebody took a screen grab of the logos and dates. That's what we're working. That is what we are working off of today. So I'm zooming in. Enhance.
Dan wrote them down.
Dan, enhance. All right. Enhance again. All right, I got him over here, guys. All right, here we go.
All right.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods will be in theaters December 16th. Doesn't say the year, but I'm assuming this one.
I hope so.
Black Adam will be in theaters October 21st. I'm assuming this year. 31st? It's hard to read. It's blurry.
I know.
Also,
I can't believe
why
that,
did
by
they
the
put
way.
Shazam then Black Adam? Like, my OCD is screaming.
Yeah, no, Black Adam's next. That's October 31st. Then Shazam, December 16th. By the way, dear Hollywood, stop releasing movies on Halloween. No one's coming.
Yeah, what?
No one goes to the movies on Halloween. I have seen. I remember several movies being released on Halloween and them failing, like just tanking hard, and people at Hollywood just being like, "I don't get it," and I'm like, "Dude, it's the #1 party day."
Yeah.
And it's also and if you are not
even the horror movies come out a week earlier.
Exactly, like because everyone wants candy.
Sal, do you go trick-or-treating and I'm not aware of this?
I wish I could, man. I love trick-or-treating so much. I do. I take my friends and we will just we will roam the neighborhood after, because Halloween ends at like 6 o'clock or earlier.
Yeah.
Like Halloween is when it, like, okay, so never mind the pandemic, but like over the last 10 years, Hollywood has moved from, or no, I'm sorry, Halloween has moved from like it being a dope ass affair where you are just out and then you come home whenever to Halloween's over around 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'll see pictures and I'm like, it's daylight.
It is.
What are you doing?
Yeah, by the time it's nighttime, Halloween has been over for hours because most of these people are also doing their trunk or treat, where they all just take all these parents take their cars, they go to one parking lot, usually at the school, and then they all just walk in a circle and then go home. And I'm like, you all suck. This is the worst. You've ruined Halloween.
Because I remember when I was a kid, you would know if someone's giving out candy because the lights are on.
Yes. Now you go through a neighborhood, lights are all off, it's nighttime, 7:30, forget about it. So what I do is my friends and I will go around 6 o'clock because they still have all this candy because Halloween is dead. But everyone loves Halloween, so what they do is they have all this candy and they want to get rid of it and they want to eat themselves. And then these 30-year-olds show up and they're like, hey, I understand you have candy. And they're like, yeah, I'm getting rid of it, I guess. They're like, well, we have these bags. Why don't you fill them with your candy?
So the more I've gotten to know you in the last 7 to 9 years, somewhere in there, the more I realize your life is Jay and Silent Bob if it just kept going.
Right. Now my life is way better than Jay and Silent Bob's. I don't make super disappointing sequels.
All right, next up we got Aquaman coming out March 17th, 2023.
Sure.
Then we have The Flash, June 23rd, 2023, and then Super Pets. Now, I'm wondering, because realizing how this is laid out, if they're just moving Flash back over and over, because they don't know if they really want to reset. Like, okay, guys, when we release it, it's going to reset.
Yeah.
When we do it, it's done.
Yeah, all these movies are in the Flash universe. So, like, what are you doing? That's great. Also, I bet you they're pushing it that far to go, like, is Flash even going to come out in theaters, or are we just going to drop it on HBO Max and forget about it?
Well, because here's the thing. Shazam, Black Adam, and Aquaman are still kind of connected into the interconnecting universe.
Yep.
And they've been doing it properly where they're lightly linked together now with references as opposed to, like, we gotta preview an entire movie.
Yes.
And what they've been doing is other than Batman and Joker, everything has been kind of lining back up and it's been kind of getting well received and it's kind of working.
Yeah, it's kind of working, and now they're gonna tank it.
Right, and they're gonna put out the Flash to reset everything.
Yeah, which isn't objectively a bad idea, but the rumors and leaks that we've been hearing, they don't line up. Like they're not. It doesn't sound like a good plan. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. I don't trust them.
So I don't know. I don't know. They're so all over the place. They didn't even get the posters lined up properly, and that tells me right there, like, why do you say Shazam the Black Adam? You know what that was? That was some marketing guy going, we can't have Black Adam over Shazam. We can't have that visible.
Right. Even though, like, oh my God, yeah, that's true. You're basically getting two Shazam movies. Like,
you are
100%. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, next up on the news, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 2 has been renamed to Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Into Across Beyond. It's going to be like the Planet of the Apes. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Why would you name it Part 1 and 2? Like, that never worked. No one ever did that.
Remember when they announced Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2?
Yeah.
And then they were like, nah. It. Yeah, exactly.
Film producers Phil Lord and Chris Miller spoke at Cinemacon about revealing the first 15 minutes of the movie to say that this is a new movie that they had to try and break new ground, so it's way bigger. The number of characters in the film is massive. The first movie had 40. This one is 240. The movie's going to begin in Earth 65, the homeworld of Spider-Gwen, and go to Earth 160, the homeworld of Miles, and so far it will go to 6 additional universes.
Okay. I don't like the idea of like selling your movie on it's way bigger.
240 compared to 40. Spider-Verse is great because they kept the idea of Spider-Verse grounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it just feels like somebody just said, put as many as you can in there.
That's Sony for you. But at the same time, I imagine we're not going to have 240 spider characters all interacting and going on one single adventure. It's going to be more like they go to all these different places and they bump in it. There'll be montages, or if someone's falling through the Spider-Verse, you're going to see characters. Yeah. But it's not going to be a whole.
I'm getting real tired of movie companies adding to their number of appearances based on the portal showing a split second.
Yeah.
Like, I am wholeheartedly believe Multiverse of Madness is going to have 80% of the characters that have been leaked.
Yeah.
And 79% of those will be in a shattered mirror view as it floats by Doctor Strange at some point.
Right. Did you see him? Did you see the character? Yeah.
Like, I wholeheartedly believe that's going to be the case to an extent. Like, we're not going to get everyone they named showing up for some big bombastic fight.
No, they're not going to bog down a Doctor Strange sequel, a Doctor Strange solo movie with a fight where Doctor Strange teams up with a bunch of characters that have no business being in a Marvel movie right now. That's not going to happen.
The fact that even the crazy people going nuts, it's 10 days away from Doctor Strange. We are 10 days away, and the internet's not freaking out with, oh my God, like they were freaking out about Andrew Garfield and everyone all the way up. And everyone knows I follow the Twitter to see what's going on with the
You do.
And no one's ranting about Doctor Strange. Like, there was that brief moment where everyone's like, it's Xavier. So we're getting the original Fantastic Four from 1990, and then we're also going to get the 2000s one, and we're going to get Hugh Jackman, and we're going to get the guys from Spectacular Spider-Man, and we're going to get Tobey Maguire, and we're going to like all of that died out. Like,
yeah. Well, I think because people are just tired of it. Like, I think maybe it's just we've reached critical mass. Like, people couldn't be on edge for too long about No Way Home, and afterwards they tried to ramp it back up to like because that's how I get 10,000 friggin' retweets, and people just went, I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I can't. You can't be hyped for more than a year.
No, I see Dan commenting that we're not down for. I'm going to jump to this topic over here because Dan decided he wants to bring this up. Like, okay. In the recent Doctor Strange trailer, while falling through the multiverse, we get a glimpse of what appears to be the Living Tribunal in its debut in the MCU, and the fans are loving it on Twitter. You're right, Dan. You know what they're not talking about? Hugh fucking Jackman.
No, that's true. And listen, like, the Living Tribunal should show up in a Doctor Strange movie. I mean, arguably he should show up in a friggin', like,
and to be annoying, Dan, when you're editing this, I need you to censor out effing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Can't be in there.
He's shaking his head in the backstage area.
Yeah, damn it.
Anyway, I'm finding it weird, the lack of a hype for Doctor Strange until this, and this is just about the latest teaser. So, like when Spider-Man came out, everyone freaked out about Multiverse of Madness. We had so many rumors and fake rumors and everything going on.
Oh yeah.
And none of that's happening anymore because the big guys that give you all the fake stuff and then say, what's your source? Trust me, bro. They're not doing it anymore.
No. So it's not working. I don't know. It's
not working as big on this one, I believe. Yeah.
Exactly.
Chad also says, I always blame Dan. That's Dan's job in this company. Yeah. All right. Terry Crews is joining the MCU's Guardians of the Galaxy in a new role as Centurion Tal Marek, a close advisor to Nova Prime. The character will not be appearing in the next movie, but is going to appear in the Epcot Experience Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Oh, okay.
The character is unique to the MCU and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and will be Disney World's first Marvel-themed ride. I'm gonna do a caveat there. First Marvel-themed ride they made to be a Marvel-themed ride. Because there's
no Marvel rides in Disney World.
Oh, in World, yeah, because Land has the Guardians of the Galaxy Tower.
Land can do whatever they want, but they're not near because they're not near Universal. World, there's no Marvel stuff.
Ah, that makes sense.
Because of Universal Superhero Island Adventure, which sucks.
It's not. It was great like 20 years ago when I first went, and
it's kind of
like
cool now
20.
because it is 20 years old. Like you look at it, you're like, wow, this is what Marvel was like 25 years ago.
Yeah,
cool.
It'll be interesting to see Marvel add to its MCU in this medium as opposed to the normal show movie edition. I mean, I get why this is in here, and I did just see the articles about Terry Crews being put into there. have we ever included what happens in the rides in the overarching plan? Pirates of the Caribbean never did. They actually took movie stuff, put it into the ride. Like,
remember when they were going to do that the Marvel cruise, like through Disney Cruise, like it was they hired real actors from the MCU to be in, like there's like some Ant-Man adventure that's in like one of the cruises and stuff like that. They're not going to carry that over into the movies. Like, if they do, it'll be only because they're reusing stuff, but not because like what happens on the cruise gets integrated into the MCU. I mean, I'm glad they're doing it. I mean, as I recall, because I think we went on the Twilight or the Guard. No, I didn't get a chance to go on the Guardians ride. I missed the Guardians Tower of Terror thing. But there's all kinds of like cameos and references and stuff in that too. So, you know.
Could you imagine the Universal Spider-Man ride, which is still incredible to this day, being considered an episode of the animated series?
Yeah, that'd be dope. It's not, unfortunately. But yeah, it would be really fun. Like, oh, come on. I
still remember that ride, and I remember just being like, this is kind of cool. Like, I kind of like this.
That's what it is. It's kind of cool. Kind of.
Okay, so next up we have Nightwing actor Brenton Thwaites explains that there are no plans to continue any relationship between Nightwing and Starfire in Titan Season 4, so the fan favorite couple may never be seen on screen. Okay.
That's weird.
It's weird, but I kind of get it because this Starfire is not Starfire. This is a new character that they basically made for the show. She's not even close to any iteration of Starfire that currently exists.
Okay.
So I get it. Like, it's fine. I get it's a fan favorite couple, but at the same time, I don't remember Nightwing and Starfire dating for that long. Everyone wants Barbara, not Starfire.
Yes. They had a significant romance that it's the biggest one besides the one with Barbara. Like, it's Barbara and Starfire.
I know it happened, but it's like an 80s thing in the Titans. It's not.
It's an 80s thing. It bled over into the 90s, but it's like it wasn't 2 decades. It just was between the 80s and the 90s.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always found the whole Starfire Dick Grayson thing kind of weird, because I'm like, it didn't happen for that long. Who's actually asking for this? Oh, 50-year-old guys who read the 80s, 90s run. Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly who it is. I mean, on one hand, it's like if you're making a Titan show and you have Starfire, like they did it on Teen Titans Go. So I mean, like, why wouldn't they do it again? I mean, if you don't have Barbara on your show and you have Starfire,
and I agree, but they brought in Barbara last season, so
yeah. So it's like, well, then okay, that's that.
Yeah.
Or you create a love triangle.
But, as soon as they brought in Barbara, my assumption was we're going this way. This is the direction we're taking this. This is gonna be what we happen here.
That's fair.
Because why would you have brought Barbara in? Like, all of last season was just in Gotham doing Gotham stuff. Everyone else wasn't. Beast Boy and Starfire had like no reason to even be on the show last season.
That sucks.
It's turning into Young Justice, but now it's just the Nightwing show. It's over here.
Right. Yeah, which most people seem to want to watch anyway. The
Nightwing show is great. I really like the Nightwing show.
Yeah, a lot of Robins on that show.
I mean, Titans.
Titans.
Star Wars actor Hayden Christensen hints at more Darth Vader projects after the upcoming Obi-Wan show. No. Look, I am a fan of Star Wars, okay? I can even find things to like in the new trilogy. I can find things to like in the prequel. I like the extended universe. I like Star Wars, and I like their comic books. But stop mining Darth Vader. Just stop. The more we mine Darth Vader, the less mystery we have around Darth Vader, and then he's not interesting or fun anymore. We've already explored his lightsaber. We've already explored his sidekick. We've already explored, did he know about Luke before he met with Luke? We have already explored what his relationship with Obi-Wan was, and now we're going to further explore his relationship with Obi-Wan. Yeah. We are going to hit a point of diminishing returns because you won't stop telling me about Darth Vader.
He sells, man. Like, I'm shocked Darth Vader didn't show up in the new trilogy, by the way. I am shocked that they didn't have like a Force ghost of Darth Vader show up. But yeah, I'm not wild about Hayden Christensen, so I'm not really like excited about him continuing with Darth Vader. I guess if you wanted to do it, you could theoretically, like the Darth Vader series with Dr. Aphra. That'd be a kind of a cool show.
I can see that show, but then we're remining content that already exists, and I'm on board with that. Don't stop making more Vader shit.
Yeah, don't add more to Vader. There's plenty there. And I
feel like and I know I wanted it, and I know all of us did. The Ahsoka meeting Vader was probably the best, like, We don't need more Vader. We've established that he didn't feel great about what he did, but he was still a villain. Leave it alone. The more you go into it, the less interesting he's getting.
Yeah.
It's going to be Boba Fett all over again. Boba Fett was interesting when he was a one-note character that was in mystery and intrigue. Yeah. And then you turn him into a crime lord with a backstory that none of us care about.
Yeah.
And the answer is you're going to do that to Vader.
Yeah. I don't trust them not to screw up Vader at this point. So, yeah. That's fair. I don't have nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, I just leave it or make it like a special, like how they used to do the Joker, where when Vader did show up, it was a big deal.
Right, like use as much Vader as you did in like Rogue One. You know, where it's like 2 scenes, that's it.
Don't overdo it. Just let me get a little Vader taste here and there.
Yeah. Like make him scary. Make it scary that he shows up. Like, and that's it. He says like 2 things.
Anyway, that's my Vader rant. Anyway,
that's fair. That's totally fair. Hey,
I like this next one.
Yeah,
is that what you said? Hey to?
Yeah, that's right.
Zack Snyder's Justice League HBO Max viewer numbers have finally been revealed. Why did they reveal these? Who knows? But here we go. The movie has been viewed 2.2 million households in its first week. Comparatively, The Batman was viewed 4.1 million households in the first week. It's also reported that Wonder Woman 84 got around the same numbers as the Snyder Cut on its HBO debut.
That sounds fair. I mean, like, and by the way, like, those were pandemic numbers. Like, yeah. Everyone was home for the Snyder Cut and for 84 Wonder Woman. So it's like, this was the maximum amount of audience members in one house you could possibly get.
They didn't go to theaters. The Batman did.
Yeah, the Batman, people saw it. It made $780 million, and it was viewed 4.1 million households after it came out. With the Snyder Cut, like, and Wonder Woman, that's it. The glass ceiling is 2 million.
Yeah, that was the first week, which I guess is how we're going to gauge streaming services now.
I mean, at least these are numbers that were revealed, which is super rare for streaming services to do anyway. So now we can start using those numbers as litmus tests. Like, well, the Batman made, I mean, like, because you could probably concoct an algorithm. Batman made $780 million in this amount of time when they were in theaters. For comparison, then, like, after this amount of time between theater and streaming, it was viewed 4.1 million times or whatever, you know, like, and so we can equate that to the, you know, there's someone out there, some nerd like me, but who likes numbers better,
right?
Who will be able to concoct a system by which we can actually measure streaming success.
So one thing about that article that Dan didn't put in his notes here that I did just read is they're using this as a quantifiable proof that having a movie in the theaters first will relate to more promotion for it in the streaming services.
I don't think that's true.
I don't either, because they're using the Batman as an example.
It's Batman. If this was, show me the numbers for Peacemaker too. Like, show me the numbers.
Show me the numbers for Bad Guys. That movie that's out right now, that Pixar movie. Show me that.
Yes. Yeah. Tell me what the streaming numbers are like on what's that? There was a Disney movie that just came out that they put, you know, like Encanto or whatever, like some movie that came out in theaters that was then available on Disney Plus.
Like, so many people I know are watching Batman for like the 4th time on HBO Max. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's like. I do know one person because they were avoiding because they were still quarantining, where they were like, I finally got to see Batman. But everybody else saw Batman already. Yeah. Everyone I know who saw Batman on HBO Max saw it at least twice.
There's a few things in general that I'm willing to go try for the theater for. And like, I'm doing Doctor Strange the day it comes out. I got that lined up because we ain't going to see it anywhere else. So
damn right. Because we got to wait a few months before it comes out on Disney Plus. So here we go.
But yeah, I get the potential argument behind this that, okay, the Batman came out theaters, you got a lot of hype, then everyone went to go see it on HBO Max.
Yeah, that's not a bad theory, but you got to test it with something other than Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And that's my only point. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of thing does moving forward.
Yeah. That would be like if Disney Plus released its numbers, if they got the streaming rights to No Way Home, which they didn't, but like if they did, and they were like, so, No Way Home was viewed 8.1 million households after it was released. It's like, it was No Way Home, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a completely different circumstance.
I mean, plus, we knew about HBO Max doing Snyderverse and Wonder Woman 84, but I guarantee you not everyone knew these things existed because HBO Max barely made waves last year in terms of like general populace.
Yeah, they were trying to like promote Disney or HBO Max as a thing at all, not like much less promoting its unique content.
Yeah. I'm going to add one more topic to this at the end of all these about Netflix, but we'll talk about that when we get there. We did the Doctor Strange trailer discussion.
Yep.
Sony announces the standalone movie. God damn it, Dan.
El Muerto.
I have been getting inundated with questions about El Muerto since this morning.
Yeah, no.
And Dan
same.
added it to the topics. Sony announces, you can tell I didn't read this list prior to this time.
Mm-hmm.
Sony announces the standalone movie El Muerto at El Muerto. I'll never pronounce it right. At Cinemacon. El Muerto. Muerto is being a super-powered wrestler that originally fought Spider-Man in a charity wrestling match.
Yeah.
When is Sony this is the problem right now. This is the problem. Because what did Morbius make money-wise? If it broke even, they're just going to keep going.
Right? I think it did. At the very least. I don't know, honestly.
The budget was $75 million and it made $156 million.
Yep, there you go. I mean, it needs to make double what it cost.
Generally, yes, unless it had a marketing hoopla like this.
Which it didn't, and it also took like 2 years to come out, so that money was spent. Like, that money's gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it didn't turn a profit, but people will still argue for some reason because they're insane. I saw a great tweet. Somebody wrote, it was a picture of a boardroom, and they wrote, Morbius was a failure. It's time we stop messing around and unveil El Muerto. Like that is Sony 100%.
The problem is Venom's sold. And Sony doesn't see Venom as selling because Venom's popular. Sony seems to see Venom selling as we can make movies about other characters in Spider-Man and it'll work. And if I was in the Sony boardroom, I would be like, it's Venom, you goddamn morons.
Dude, they did the same thing after No Way Home. Or no, after Homecoming. I think it made $1 billion. I don't remember. But like Homecoming did very well. And they were like, oh, we got it. Okay, bye. We figured it out.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was like, no, you didn't figure it out. You made one good decision. You let Marvel help you make movies.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's the problem here, because I guarantee the boardroom or Amy, whatever her name is, I can't remember Pascal is sitting there like, well, Venom worked, so obviously we can make successful movies out of the Spider-Man franchise. No, because you used Venom.
Yeah.
You used Venom.
Right. And Into the Spider-Verse worked because there's at least 4 Spider-Men in it. But if you make a Madam Web movie and there ain't no Spider-Man in it, that's over for you.
Morbius proves how low it does if you don't put Spider-Man or a secondary popular character into it.
Plus, Morbius
Sony
sucks.
is lucky that Venom got popular after they bought the rights lumped in with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because the problem is Venom was nothing more than a villain for the villain Eddie Brock in the 2000s when they bought Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And in the time between 2000 and now, Venom is his own character with his own fan base beyond the burly guy that fights Spider-Man.
Right. So they had stories to mine and they had a fan base to exploit.
Yes.
But if they didn't have Venom, then they would have been, I mean, I could guarantee you they wouldn't have made the deal because they didn't think they had anything other than Spider-Man. But like, even if they did, they would have tried, I guess, to make a Kraven the Hunter movie and a Morbius movie just like they did before, but they would have done really poorly because A, there's no Spider-Man in them, and B, nobody cares about those characters on a national, international level to the point where they're able to support their own franchises. Like, I'm sorry, but like the Kraven the Hunter movie is not going to make any money. And
Morbius barely made money. It broke Morbius even. Kraven will probably break even too because they'll probably.
I doubt it because it's made by the same people, like the same director, the same writer. I think it's the same writers. I don't remember. But like Morbius is so bad, and everyone already knows how bad it is. And you've lost the good favor you've earned from Venom, of all things.
Yeah.
So people are not going to be like, oh boy, Kraven. Well, I know that Venom 2 wasn't great, and Morbius sucks, but maybe Kraven the Hunter will be good.
And that's the problem, because they're going to try Kraven, Madam Web. Now we're getting El Muerto. And my big the only one that I could see kind of possibly working, if marketed correctly, was the Black Cat Silver Sable one. You just do a spy movie that happens to have Black Cat, and that will be fine.
Yeah.
It won't make $1 billion. It'll probably break even about 150 to 200.
Yeah, that's the thing is you need to, like, they spent $75 million. I'm like, that's actually surprisingly modest. Like, as far as these kinds of movies are concerned, because Venom didn't cost $75 million, so at least they knew what they were doing. But like, the reality is, I think I don't care about Black Cat outside of Spider-Man.
I don't either, but I'm just saying, like, that one you could make work. And here's part of that problem, though. If they leaned in hard to the sex appeal, guarantee they can make it work. But in this day and age, you can't get away with that.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
Sony learns the wrong lessons every time, man, and they're never going to learn. You know, the Into the Spider-Verse movie, like after Into the Spider-Verse was so great and so successful, I guarantee you Sony was like, we did it. Mission accomplished, ladies and gentlemen. We know what we're doing.
Yep.
Like, you should have I mean, like, look at them when they get their Oscar.
Well, I guarantee that's what they're doing, because the problem is this. Amy Pascal has notoriously been like, I made the greatest deal ever. I got Spider-Man. So the moment she thinks that it's working without the help of Kevin Feige and the MCU, of course she's going to be like, no, see, I did do it. It's working fine.
Yeah. Not only did I make the deal, I also made us, she thinks, like, she's like, I got us an Oscar. Really?
Yeah.
I want an Oscar. Like, Avi Arad is like, I have an Oscar. And he does. Avi Arad, the man who worked on toys and facilitated the purchase of Marvel from an action figure company, has an Oscar. Like, I'm in the wrong timeline.
So, they also announced Venom 3, which everyone is... Here's what I find funny about that.
That makes sense.
That's what I mean. Everyone's freaking out. Venom 3! They didn't say anything.
They don't know
They
what the hell
literally
that
just said, we're making Venom 3, and it's like, no shit.
Yeah, duh. You got to make Venom 3 now.
If they had come out and said, we're making Venom 3 and Andrew Garfield's on the cast, then I would have been like, oh my God.
Yeah. There are rumors, and I don't know, there's absolutely no substantiation to these rumors, but I heard that, because it's like, the Morbius thing, the post-credit scene should have been Andrew Garfield, and it wasn't. It was something else. And I heard a rumor that they've already tried to get Andrew Garfield, and he said no.
Did they? Ooh.
And again, it's a rumor. It's completely unfounded. I'm not like, but I'm saying if hypothetically, if Andrew Garfield said no, that completely F's them.
I could see that though, because you got to think about it. One, they f***ed him. Yes, he was a cocky kid, but he was a kid. You know what I mean?
He has an Oscar. Like, he's a hot commodity. He made real movies. Like, he's like, I don't need this. I don't need to be Spider-Man anymore, man.
Right? Like, do I want to get back in that rigmarole? He's 38 and he's got money.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't need to be Spider-Man. I was Spider-Man.
And Tobey Maguire ain't doing it. Like,
no.
I'm going to be shocked if somehow they got him to show up in Multiverse of Madness.
I think if he's going to show up anywhere, it'll be in the big thing at the the end of the phase thing. It'll be like Multiverse Spider-Man. You know, like, because it just makes so much sense. Like, it did so well, and reported, like, supposedly, allegedly, Toby's survival was originally not a survival, and they only didn't kill him off because they were like, we want to use him again.
Oh, and No Way Home, where he kind of
Way Home.
I did feel like he was gonna die. Like,
Me too. I don't think it
almost reminded me of a Harrison Ford situation where I'm like, he probably agreed to do this so that they'll kill him off, and that's not.
Put him in the carbonite. If he decides not to come back, he died in it. Whatever. Yeah.
But I mean, where have you heard that rumor? I mean, it's all rumors.
I saw it on I think it was either Twitter or Reddit, so it's completely unfounded. Like, it's nowhere. Like, but I had heard that they had asked Garfield, and he just flat out refused.
I got it. It came right up.
Oh, great.
It's in the Hindi news.
Oh, well, there you go. Most reliable news source.
Hindustan Times.
Okay, so it's
in a recent interview after Andrew Garfield said he had no plans to play Spider-Man again after No Way Home, but admitted due to his track record of lying in interviews, nobody would believe him.
He's not wrong about that.
Guys, I'm not coming back, but none of you are going to believe that.
But I know you're not going to believe me, so I guess I should shut up.
All right, the other thing I want to talk about, which I think would be great, because we actually went through these topics a lot faster than I thought. How do you feel about the Netflix situation?
It's interesting because, Netflix, the situation being that they're like
increasing the prices. Platform. They're going to be adding in new ads. They've cut a lot of the original programming.
Yep.
And they've lost a lot of the original programming that was making the money. Things like Futurama, I think. Dan could tell us more about which ones. But but they've lost a lot of it to the other platforms, is what I'm getting.
Yes. I mean, the fact is, honestly, for me, and I think I've not been shy about sharing my opinion about the streaming wars and about streaming in general. But
We
I think,
both have said this isn't sustainable.
no, Netflix only works. Netflix is only
Good job, Dan.
Netflix is only a company now because of what it did like 15 years ago. Because Netflix only works as a platform when it's one-stop shopping. When you can get everything from that one place. When they decided to get into streaming at all, that was a fundamental game changer and a smart move for them. But it is also, if you fragment Netflix to the point where there are like 20 streaming services and you got to pay the same number for all of them, it's completely unsustainable, because you can't pay for like a cable subscription and an internet connection and 10 streaming services and expect it to work, especially if the cable network that's providing you your internet is also trying to be a streaming service, because they're going to throttle the streaming services that you're dealing with, which they have done in the past. That's not a conspiracy theory. That is something that happened. So like Netflix now is like, well, we aren't what we were, and we are not a content creation platform. We are a platform to get you content, to get content to you.
And you're right. They were great in the early days, and they had everything. That's why
when they had everything. And in order to make up for the lack of everything they had, because they lost it to competitors, they had to become a content creation platform. But what they also discovered was that like it's unsustainable to make that much content when it can be binged. But we've also normalized binge culture. So we're in
they also don't have any licenses that people like don't know. They're trying to make stuff.
Exactly. And even if they did, it costs millions to produce anything, and time. So you need to either make seasons of shows that will be staggered in one shot, or make something someone wants every few months. Like, it's unsustainable. So
that's the problem that they've also shut down their animation department. That's another thing they've done.
Which they just created. Like, so they spent money to make this thing, and then they killed it, so they lost money there too.
I canceled it today. I finally canceled it. Natalie finished watching Better Call Saul's latest season.
Okay, all right, cool.
And I'm like, I'm going to cancel it because they're going to renew us on the 28th.
Yeah.
And I saw that I've had it since 2012. I've had Netflix for 10 years.
Same.
But it almost feels like a last-ditch effort. Let's cancel all of our shows, jack the price up, grab whatever we can, because Netflix is finally on. It's almost like admitting defeat.
Yeah, they lost. No, I kind of expected Netflix to lose the streaming wars, but I also, based on the pandemic and how bad Disney was doing and HBO Max, like just like spending a bunch of money, Warner Brothers spending a bunch of money on the DC Universe app, and then making a complementary app that was a competitor to itself, and then I expected someone to fold. Netflix was the most obvious choice.
It's because they don't have anything. So Dan got us a list here of shows that got canceled. Tell me how many of these you even know about, okay?
Right.
The first one is Cowboy Bebop, which we do know about. It got canceled less than a month after it came out.
Fair.
Which is a very bad sign. I watched episode 1 of that, and it was just not interesting.
No, not the show.
Dead to Me, Last Kingdom, The Irregulars, Jupiter's Legacy. I watched that, and it was terrible.
Yeah, I watched I've watched like 2 episodes and was like, this is
You
horrible.
dropped it. I was alone.
That's right. For this channel, we were like, no.
Grand Army, Cursed, Bonding,
no.
Country Comfort,
no. The
Crew. The Crew stars Kevin James. How have I not even heard about that?
Right? Nah, because it's not 2007.
Mr. Inglés, it's Gabriel Inglés. I can never say his last name, but
Inglés,
the big guy. Yeah.
Iglesias.
Yeah, he also had a sitcom on here.
Didn't know.
Dash and Lily, Hit and Run, Dad Stop Embarrassing Me. That was Jamie Foxx's sitcom.
Damn.
Black AF. Hashtag Black AF. My bad. Special. Castlevania. I watched that.
Yeah.
The Duchess, Zero Chill, Julie and the Phantoms. And it keeps going, but I think you get my point.
Yeah. Like, I only knew about 3 of those shows.
I didn't even know they existed because Netflix doesn't even know how to market to its own audience.
That's very true.
I watch shitty sitcoms. I notoriously state that. I watch a bunch of them on Hulu. Like, I can tell you right now what I watch. If I had known that those shitty sitcoms were on there, I probably would have watched them at least.
Totally. Yeah. No, and the fact is, like, there's a precedent set from like Peacock that like people will pay $12 a month just to be able to have immediate access to The Office.
Yeah.
And that Netflix deal for Seinfeld, I guess it didn't work out. I was expecting Seinfeld to really re-blow up. It did not. And damn.
Who got Seinfeld? They didn't get
Netflix. Netflix got it.
I didn't even know it's on there.
Yeah, it's on there. I watched most of it, but like, and I love Seinfeld, but I expected it to be a huge deal, like the way that like the Friends and The Office enjoyed a resurgence. Let me see how much they cost. According to a Screenrant article in 2021, Netflix spent
they paid
$425 million.
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry.
No wonder they're closing up shop. We bought Seinfeld and it didn't work like we wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was something else they spent money on. Hang on. Let me put the $sign in. $500 million.
Yeah.
For the global streaming rights to Seinfeld.
I was a little sad canceling Netflix, seeing that I've been with them for 10 years, but they've really they got everyone into one location. All their competitors are like, why are we giving it to you? We own these things. We don't have to pay anyone money to put it over here.
Their competitors are wrong, by the way, because like that's the future. The reality is one-stop shopping was the way to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to. No one wants to pay Warner Brothers, Disney, NBC extra money to access their stuff. The normalization of streaming culture came from one-stop shopping. We are in an aberration. This should not be.
They're all agreeing with you, but the idea is like, oh, you'll only want Disney. That's all you need. Why even get WB?
That's right. Well, and Disney bought Fox literally to do that. To become a Netflix competitor.
But Disney is the one that irritates me, and I know there's a package for that, Hulu and Spotify, but they literally have 2 freaking apps.
Yeah. Yeah, that is garbage. You're fragmented your own damn audience.
I know there's one payment plan. I get it. That's fine.
But still,
that doesn't change the fact that I have 2 apps, and even though it's a combined payment plan, I'm paying 2 apps for their content.
Yeah, and you gotta cycle through the 2. Like, that's nonsense. I should be able to click a button on Disney Plus that just changes it to green and gives me access to Hulu, or gives me a Hulu playlist section, or just drops Hulu entirely because Hulu's a stupid name, and
makes it Disney Plus.
And put all of it on there. If you want to be the megalomaniacal controlling monster that you are, put it all in one place anyway. No. Be Netflix. Like, be the Netflix thing.
What I always find funny about this is Hulu ended up Hulu used to be the big competitor for Netflix, and it was like the little stepbrother. Yeah. And now it's like Hulu's squashing Netflix.
Yeah. It's nuts.
I'm going to look. Netflix isn't done with original stuff, though, right?
No. They're going to keep making original stuff, but they're going to make like very specialized. Like, they're only going to. It's funny because remember, like a year ago when Netflix was like, "Oh, what do you have, a show? You're approved." Like, no wonder you can imagine. You know who's actually sweating about this? I'll bet. Every comic book creator who went to Substack, because they were like, okay, I'm going to Substack, and then I will make my independent project, and then I will leverage that independent project into an original program for Netflix to make. Oh no, Netflix is closing, but I have this IP. I have this original thing that could be definitely a show. It's engineered just to be a show. You need to take it and make me money and make me a producer so I can leave comic books. Like, guess you'll have to invent another Batman villain.
Yeah. I'm looking at the original content for Netflix. Holy cow, do they have so much coming out. No wonder they're cutting back.
Yeah.
4 things came out April 1st. 3 things came out April 6th. This is either a series that they bought and brought over from like Korea, because they claim all those Korean dramas that were made over there are Netflix originals, or there's something they actually made.
Right.
Okay. April 7th was another 2 shows. April 8th was another 3 shows, 4 shows, 5, 6, 7 shows. April 9th was 2 more shows. 12th was 3 more shows. Ultraman got a season 2. I didn't even freaking know. There's a show in here that I like to watch. It was called Russian Doll. It was about like a Groundhog Day thing. Okay. It got a season 2 a week ago. I liked season 1.
Right, but I didn't know there was a season 2 coming.
Yeah. I did watch The Bubble, which was the movie that they made.
Yeah.
Wait, why does it say 28th? I've already watched that. Oh, no, this is a different movie about a bubble.
Cool. Oh, man.
Why would you have 2 movies named Bubbles? The other one not named Bubble. It's the Netflix show about them trying to film a movie in the pandemic.
Okay.
And they had quarantines and bubbles and things they had to go into.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. There's so many things.
And you know what the other
Oh
problem
yeah, Knives
is?
Out 2 is a Netflix thing now.
Oh my God. And that's the thing people want to watch. The other problem is there's just too much. Like, there's just too much content. People have to pick and choose what they want to watch because, like, there is too much content being deliberately made for niche audiences, and it's getting to the point where, and like, I'm sure there's like a psychological term for it, but it's like when people are given too much choice, they make no choice.
Yeah. That's literally like whenever I finally get downtime, I go sit down and I go, what do I have to watch that isn't work related?
Yeah.
And I don't watch very much.
Right. Right. Or I watch something
do
dumb.
Other things. Yeah.
Like I watch something that I'm just like, I don't have to really focus on because like I'm focusing on everything else in my life and everybody else is too. And it's like,
I put on
really?
shitty horror movies. That's my thing.
That's fair. I watch like old game shows from like 100 years ago. Like,
there you go. I mean, I literally watch like right now my sitcoms are The Connors, Home Economics, The Rock Show. Like it's all shitty sitcoms. They're terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're all being made now. Like,
yeah. They're all current.
Yeah. That's nuts. No, but what do you think is the future of this streaming thing? Like, where do you think we're going?
I don't know.
Right?
At this point, I think we're going to start to see the counterpoint. We're going to start consolidating.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus finally has Halo, which is, I guess, made them worthwhile. But even that, I don't know what they're going to do.
But nobody likes it.
No, I mean, Halo had 10 minutes of good footage, but
but like, there's already a 10-minute long Halo movie made by Neil Blomkamp you can watch. You don't need to watch an entire show of Halo for 10 minutes. And I'm sure it wasn't cheap. I mean,
that's true. Devil says the biggest streaming service is actually YouTube. Yeah, I think YouTube's still the biggest one. Just people don't know it because they don't make original content. They just gave up on that idea.
Well, also like YouTube's just like, well, go ahead, you make it. Like we're their content provider. Like they're like, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, we're in a weird spot. I think we're going to get to a point where it's going to be Disney Plus and HBO Max for the most part because those are the two that everyone seems to care about. Disney Plus, I also include Hulu into that because they're the same.
They own it.
They're the same thing.
Yeah, I don't see Paramount Plus figuring it out.
Somebody mentioned YouTube. I'm actually clicking this for a second because I want to see what this originals from YouTube is. Have they made anything recently
that I would want to watch or that anyone would be interested in that didn't already know it existed? Because it's like, how are they going to promote
they did that In Space with Markiplier. That came out a month ago.
Oh, cool.
Which was just a bunch of YouTubers doing, I think, skits. I don't even know what it was about. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never watch
Secret Saboteurs with Lauren Side. I don't know who that is. Official trailer for Aubrey Alias with it's just, hey YouTuber, what series do you want to make? You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. Fisher's Quest. I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
It's all the YouTubers that I don't follow because I don't really follow much actual YouTube beyond like my little crew.
Yeah, if it's beyond what you do for a living, yeah.
I guess there's a series called Non-Fungible Planet from YouTube.
NFP? Okay.
What?
I don't know, man.
It looks like just worldwide travels. Why would you name it that?
I don't know. You can't even get the algorithm of NFT. It does.
That's what I'm saying. That seems like so weird. I thought they stopped doing originals. I didn't realize they were still making these.
I thought so too. Like I thought like it was a big failure, but I guess they're still doing it.
Someone in our audience, someone has to have watched this Markiplier show. What was it?
What was it?
Is it a skit-based show? Was it a plot?
Right? I don't know.
I'm looking at this trailer.
Oh, good.
It looks like an actual plot-based show, but right in the trailer, the overacting for Markiplier is like, yeah, you just got a bunch of YouTubers to show up and say things. Let's like literally, I'm not even joking. The overacting for Markiplier, we're gonna watch this trailer together once we end this podcast. So thank you for watching today's episode of Absolute Comics. My name is Benny. That is Sal. Go ahead and join us over at Absolutely Marvel and DC, the new home of Absolute Comics. Don't worry if you're watching this on the old homes. It's not leaving. We'll continue to upload over there, but it will be hopefully dropping every Saturday or Sunday on Absolutely Marvel and DC with a ton of our other content, including all of our movie reviews, our trailer reviews, our discussions about the industry, and our new show that we're going to be test piloting with the 3-episode initial series. Nope. It's a absolute original piece of content that we're hoping to absolutely sell to somebody one day.
Nice.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. Really do appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed today's show. We'll see you next time.